What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we got some BT-14 reviews. We're going to go over all the colors real quick and go for an understanding of what you will expect. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about it. So let's get into the colors. First off, color we're going to get into is red. Of course, we go in color order. So first off, Koromon from BT-14. Once per turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, draw a card. This card will see some play. It's up to you if you're going to play it or not. It's a good card just because removing a security stack. We don't have really trashing effects with War Greymon yet, but this could see future use, especially when versus the when attacking one. I think the when attacking one's just a little bit better. We have Agumon here. Start a main phase if you have a tamer with Tai in its name. This Digimon may digivolve into Greymon from your hand without paying its cost. So you're going to definitely see this as a play it setup in any War Greymon deck from now on, because your turn while this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, it gets plus 2000 DP. So the fact that it gets plus 2000 DP is very vital and important, just because it removes the promo from the setup. Now you have a basically free champion. Now your memory setter could get you to what? Your ultimate pretty much for your 3 costs that turn. Then you have Gazamon. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP. Not really seeing any play. Nothing yet. And then we have Gatsumon. Basically, players cannot play Digimon by effects. Basically, your Humu version for red. It's not a bad one. I just don't see it seeing play. Kokotorimon. So this thing just has jamming. Just a revamp of an older card. Nothing really special there. Then we have Monochromon. So basically he's just a blocker for, 2 cost evolution, 4 cost play. He's 5000 DP, but just being a blocker that doesn't lose you memory might see some fringe play, but it just doesn't see any competitive play. Then we have Greymon here. So starter deck, BT-14. When attacking, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Then if you have a tamer with Tai, Kamiya in his name, gain a memory, and then it gives plus 2000 DP. So this one is not bad. The fact that it's when attacking is like the weirdest spot here. I think it would have saw more play if it was when digivolving this thing got the boost, because you're climbing up pretty quickly. You're not going to stay on this card too long. So he's not going to really see much play. Tyrannomon. For the Tyrannomon players, you guys got a really decent card here. Start a main phase until the end of turn when this Digimon would digivolve into a Tyrannomon. If in its name or a Dino Ceratopsian trait, reduce the cost by 1, and a turn once per turn if this Digimon is Tyrannomon in its name, or Ceratopsian or Dinosaur in its traits, it may attack. So it doesn't get over Summoning Sickness for that inheritable. Remember that. There's nothing too crazy on that, but definitely Tyrannomon support. We have Metal Greymon Ace. It's a hat, the Ace card, first one we're going to talk about. So Blast Digievolution, you may digivolve into this card without paying its cost. On play, when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 6000 DP or less. Overflow 3, and Overflow 3 means basically you lose 3 security if this card is removed in any way, shape, or form. Bounce, spun back, basically put onto in the trash. All of those things definitely, or even just the digivolved will trigger the overflow. But if they are tucked into security or under a tamer or under another Digimon, it won't trigger Overflow 3. So that's just something to keep in mind. Then we have Mega Dramon. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less. Then we have Triceramon Raid. I need to double check on the Ace afterwards. I don't think... Correct me if I'm wrong about the Ace on the... going to security. I don't remember. It's been a bit. Dino Rex. When digivolving Blitz, and then all turns while your opponent has 1 or more memory, your opponent can't play Digimon with DP 6000 or less, and this Digimon gets plus 4000 DP. It's not a bad. Death Rex just has a lot of potential. For a rare, it definitely showed some strengths. Then we have Goldramon. So on play, when digivolving, play 1 Amon of Crimson Flame token, Amon of Blue Thunder token. One has Rush, one has Blocker, 6000 DP. All turns when this Digimon would digivolve or would leave the battle area, delete all your Amon and Umons. If you deleted with this effect, recovery 1. So definitely very important. You can kind of just do that and get a free recovery. And then we have Tai Kamiya. Just a decent, semi-decent. You're not going to take Black Tie out for this. This is definitely an Ultimate Cup kind of card. Start a main phase, one of your Digimon with Vaccine and Trace gets plus 2000 DP, and then when in card is removed from your opponent's security stack by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. Definitely an Ultimate Cup card if you're restricted to red. So, Mega Flare. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. If you have a Digimon with Greymon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP instead. It's not bad. It's not going to see play, though. Dragon of Courage. This card definitely saw early play, but now it doesn't. So while you have a Tamer with Tai in its name, you may use this card ignoring color requirements by placing one Greymon, Metal Greymon from your trash as a bottom Digi-Evolution card, one of your Agumons that may Digivolve into War Greymon in your hand, ignoring Digi-Evolution conditions without paying its cost. Basically, the Takatos or the new Henry kind of thing, but it's in the form of the option. Security may play one Agumon from your hand or trash without paying its cost, then add this to the owner's hand. It definitely saw a little bit of play just because that warp is decent, but it doesn't really see it anymore. There's better uses. Then we do have War Greymon Secret. So this card is quite interesting. So Digivolve for 4 from a level 5 Greymon in its name. While you have a Tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name, and your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 or more, your Agumon may Digivolve into this card from your hand for Digi-Evolution cost 4, ignoring Digi-Evolution requirements. When Digivolving, the Digimon gains Raid for the turn, then this Digimon may attack. It does not get over Summoning Sickness, though. Just remember that. When attacking, if you have a Tamer, this Digimon gains Security +1 and Piercing for the turn. So, it's not bad. You know, cards, remember, don't get over Summoning Sickness. Just keep that in mind. But that is our red. So, let's get into it. We have Pokemon, the new blue Big Bad. So this card is the new Digitama that you will be expecting to play in blue. So while your opponent has no Digi-Evolution equal or more Digi-Evolutions than this Digimon gains jamming. With all the OTKing in blue, you're going to expect a lot more of this. I'm going to be straight honest with you. Then we have Otamamon. Doesn't really see play, but opponent's turn once per turn when opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the bottom 2 Digi-Evolution of that Digimon. Nothing really spicy here. The card doesn't see play. Then we have Gomamon. Gomamon's very interesting. It sees play in a lot of decks, actually. You have Blue Hybrid. You have a lot of different things. If I remember correctly, you even play this in Gargo. So just keep that in mind. Start of main phase, choose one Digimon under one of your opponent's Digimon, trash it. Then the Digimon cannot be blocked for the turn. Not bad, especially coming from Raising. Set yourself up. Opponent's turn, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may play one Gomamon from under this Digi-Evolution card without paying its cost. So if they can't double delete this thing, it gets annoying pretty quickly because it's going to strip something because you're just going to free play it. Then we have Sayokomon with Evade. You're not seeing play with this. Then you have Gasumon. So when attacking, choose one Digi-Evolution under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash it, then return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon with no Digi-Evolution card to its owner's hand. Would have saw some play in the fish deck, but the deck is just so tight. Then we have Ikakumon. So when Digivolving, choose 2 Digi-Evolution cards under your opponent's Digimon, trash them, and then when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digi-Evolution less than or equal to this Digimon cannot attack until the end of opponent's turn. So more stunning, just really annoying. Then when attacking for its inheritable, one of your opponent's Digimon with a number Digi-Evolution less than or equal to this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Not bad, really scary, just because of the stun. Definitely sees play in the hybrid version, but doesn't really see play outside of that. Gekomon. So opponent's turn, same thing with Otamamon. I really don't see any play with this. When an opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the bottom 2 Digi-Evolutions. Not seeing it. Shellmon, it just has Evade. A lot of it just comes down to, was just trashy cards. And it really just came down to the Gomamon line completely. Zudomon Ace. So this is Burst Digi-Evolution. On play, when Digivolving, trash 2 Digi-Evolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digi-Evolution to hand. Or flow 3. So, an Ace card, one of the best Ace cards in the set. Then we have Marine Devi. So on play, when Digivolving, return all level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. See, this is my point with level 3 Digimon. We're getting to the point where level 3 Digimon, unless they can come out of Raising and stay and have some sort of protection, they're just dying out. So you really don't use the blockers anymore. The Mem blocker, the Digi-Evolution restriction blocker, stuff like that, you just don't use them. Then you have Shogun Gekomon. So it's just a blocker all turns when a Digi-Evolution card of an opponent's Digimon is trash, the Digimon cannot be deleted by battle until the end of the opponent's turn. Doesn't see play. Then we have Plesiommon. When Digivolving, trash 2 Digi-Evolution under this Digimon. When attacking once per turn, if your opponent does not have a Digimon with equal or more Digi-Evolution than this Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. So Plesiommon would have been Vikemon, but they're going off the game and the video game version of Joe's. So I think it was very weird because I know that most people associate it with Vikemon, especially with the reboot, but apparently they're going with this version instead. Then we have Marine Angemon. On play, when Digivolving, by returning one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon or one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. Return one of your opponent's Digimon, one of your Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon with a level less than or equal to the returned Digimon to its owner's hand. Then once per turn, when another Digimon is returned to hand, recovery +1. So, not bad for just getting Marine Angemon doing Marine Angemon thing. Just that recovery is really nice, but doesn't see competitive play. Joe, on play, trash 1 Digi-Evolution from under one of your opponent's Digimon. When a card is trashed from under one of your opponent's Digimon, by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. Congratulations, Joe. You're very decent. And this goes with the hybrids. Wave of Reliability. Trash 2 Digi-Evolutions from under one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if you have a tamer with Joe in its name, choose one of your opponent's Digimon. If your opponent does not have a Digimon with equal or more cards than your opponent, unsuspend that Digimon. Doesn't see competitive play. Then, Marching Fishes. Choose one of your opponent's Digimon. 3 of your opponent's Digimon with equal or fewer Digi-Evolutions. Then, this chosen Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of the opponent's turn. And then, Security, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack until the end of that turn, and then add this card to its owner's hand. Not a bad card. Doesn't see competitive play, though. So, Zudamon, like I said, it's just basically Joe's line up to the ultimate. Definitely see some sort of play, except for Ikakumon. So, definitely very interesting. Now, let's get into Yellow. Yellow has a lot going for it, actually, this set. So, first off, we have Tokomon. So, when a card is added to your security stack, draw 1. I mean, Yellow likes this a little bit, but you have a lot of better eggs. Then we have Elecmon. So, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 TP for the turn. Doesn't see competitive play. Chumon for that poop deck of your fancy. On play, add the top card of your security stack to your hand. Then you may place one Sukumon in its name from your hand at the top of your security stack. This is where you get to play that option on top. Then, on deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 TP for the turn. Then you have Patamon. Patamon is basically Yellow's new backbone. So Patamon, starter main phase, look at the top of your security stack. This Digimon, look into your security stack, not the top. This Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow Digimon card with Vaccinian's traits among them without paying its cost. Then shuffle your security stack. If that Digi-Evolution with this effect, you may place one yellow card with Vaccinian's trait from your hand at the bottom of security stack. So it basically sets yourself up for like Messenger of Hope or any other Digi-Evolution you have planned. So once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, gain 1 memory. So it self-fulfills because once you Digivolve and put the vaccine in, boom, you instantly gain that memory. So it plussed you for just promoting Patamon out of security just to Digivolve. Kind of nasty. Then we have Sukumon itself. So security at the end of battle, place this card without paying its cost. And then on deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn for its inheritable. Then we have Unimon, so barrier, doesn't see play. You have Centuriamon, so doesn't see play. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn, and then when attacking, gets minus 2000 DP for its inheritable. Should have been the other way around, and just gave it 3000 at the board. Then we have Magnamon Ace, one of the other best Ace you'll see play. On play, when Digivolving, if you have 5 or fewer security recovery +1, then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for each card in your security stack. Blast Digi-Evolution and Overflow -3. Then we have Edamon itself, security. If you have 3 or more cards with Sukumon in its name in your trash, you may play one level 6 Digimon with Edamon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. So you get to play your Metal Edamon and King Edamon for free. On deletion, place this card at the bottom of the security stack. And then on deletion, place one Edamon from your trash at the bottom of the security stack. So it's not bad, actually. It's pretty decent for the poop deck, and you definitely want it. Then you have your Mumsymon. Digivolves 3 on top of a level 4 Numemon. Armor Purge, by the way. Very interesting. I didn't realize he was in armor form. But on play, by placing one Digimon with Numemon in its name from your trash as the bottom Digievolution, gain 2 memory. Your turn, while this Digimon has Mumze or Nume in its name, it gains security +1. So basically it gets to apply pressure. Then you have Jinjimon or Gigimon. So on play, when Digimon, you may place one Tamer card from your hand on the top of your security stack. So decent enough. I mean, will it see competitive play? No, but it's a cute card. All turns, one per turn, when your Tamer is played, you may play one level 3 Digimon from your hand without paying its cost. Not bad. Then we have Seraphimon. So when Digivolving, recovery 1. All turns, once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 TP, and this Digimon gets security plus attack +1 for the turn. That's not bad. That minusing DP really does help out, and it can make your opponent very scared. Then you have TK. TK is really awesome. It's the 3 cost you kind of wanted, but on play, by adding the top card of your security stack to your hand, you may place one yellow card from your with vaccine from its traits at the bottom of your security stack. So that's not bad. That sets you up really nicely, especially if you go Pata and Raising, then play this down. You can guarantee you're going to have a vaccine in that security. So your turn, when a card is added to your security stack by suspending the Tamer, gain 1 memory. Then we do have Messenger of Hope. So main, look at the top security stack. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 or lower Digimon with vaccine in traits among them without paying its cost. Then shuffle your security stack if your Digievolution with this effect, and you have a Tamer with TK in its name, recovery +1. So free, basically a 1 cost evolve, or maybe a free one because Pata just says 1 for 1 at this point, and that's ridiculous. Security, you may play one Patamon from your hand or trash without paying its cost, then add this card to your owner's hand. Then we have Heaven's Knuckle. Activate the following. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP for the turn. By deleting one of your Angemons, place one of your opponent's Digimon at the bottom of their security stack. I'm going to be straight honest with you. Not happening. Not playing this. Then we have the second secret. So when attacking, delete this Digimon, activate one of the following. Place one of your opponent's Digimon with Viruses trait at the bottom of the security stack. One of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn. On deletion, place this card at the bottom of the security stack. Then if you have a Tamer, you may hatch your Digi-Egg in the breeding area. On deletion, play one yellow card with vaccine traits from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. Really a good card in general, but it's definitely takes everything from the anime and puts it into this card. So definitely interesting. So the next color we're going to talk about is green. We have Tenemon. So your turn, once per turn, when one of your effects suspends a Tamer, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. Sees a one-up play in most circumstances, but doesn't see much competitive play. Kunemon. So on play, by suspending this Digimon, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one green card among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then we have Kodokukumon. So on play, by suspending one of your Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Nothing too crazy here. Then we have Palmon. Palmon's really decent, actually. Start a main phase. If your opponent, one of your opponent's Digimon gains all turns, the Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of opponent's turn. Really decent, actually, being able to at the end of opponent's turn, forces them to suspend it in any way, shape, or form, which basically Bloomlord can do in a heartbeat. This card just gonna do it. So your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green Tamer, reduce the cost by 1. Really solid. I don't hate it here. Kuwagamon. Kuwagamon, just jamming. Just a reprint of the Jammer stuff. Then we have Togemon. Your turn, when you would play a green Tamer from your hand, by suspending one of your green Digimons, reduce the cost by 3. Crazy, makes your Mimis really reduce cost. And then your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green Tamer, reduce the cost by 1. Solid. Then we have Dokugamon. So this is on play, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then all your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less cannot unsuspend until the end of opponent's next unsuspend phase. Spider Trap is what you're seeing here. Then you have Leomon. Leomon, when attacking, if you attack an opponent's Digimon with the higher DP than this Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 Leomon in its name from your hand for a Digivolution cost of 6, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. And then while this Digimon has Leomon in its name, it gets plus 2,000 DP. Crazy, because now you can get a free warp into like Saber Leomons, Bancho Leomons, anything you expect, you'll see. Then you have Lilymon Ace. It's a burst Digivolution. Kind of cool. Then on play, one Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then you may return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with 5,000 DP or less to the bottom of its owner stack. Self-explanatory. Green's new, kind of just removal is kind of cute. I don't see Lilymon seeing crazy amount of play. It'll definitely see a 2 to maybe 3 of index, but it's up to you if you actually play it. Then you have Piximon. On play, when Digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of your opponent's next turn. Not seeing any play. Then you have Okuamon. So end of opponent's turn. Once per turn, by suspending one of your Digimon, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 green Digimon card among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. It's cute. Nothing too crazy here. Then you do have Panjamon. So piercing, when Digimon suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, rule this is card is treated as Leomon. And then while this Digimon has Leomon in its name, it gets plus 2,000 DP. Panjamon, just really cute. Plus 2,000 DP here, makes it a 9k. And you can just do some crazy shenanigans here. Rosemon here. Rosemon is when Digimon, when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and or Tamers. Well, or Tamers, not and. So while a Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended by an effect, you may unsuspend this Digimon. It's a cute card, actually. It's not bad. It can do some crazy things in the Rosemon deck. Then you have Saber Leomon with Piercing. So by unsuspending this Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then end of your turn, this Digimon may attack one of your opponent's Digimon. Piercing. It's not a bad card. It's actually pretty decent, actually, for Saber Leomon. Then we have Mimi here. So Mimi's really decent. I think she's one of the best tamers in the set. So on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Plant, Vegetation, Fairy and its traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck. And then your turn, when a Digimon becomes suspended by an effect, by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. Really cool there. Then you have Poison Ivy. So one of your Digimon, opponent's Digimon, gains all turns when this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of opponent's turn. I'm not going to see competitive play, actually. Poison Ivy's just a revamp of another card we've had. But then we have Flower of Serenity. Flowering Serenity. So suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a tamer with Mimi in its name, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of opponent's turn. So it's not bad. I think it's pretty cool. The lockdown is really good. I think this is better in the wording, just making it so that they can't use an effect to unsuspend, but it's really decent. Next, we're getting into Black itself. This is D Brigade support and then aliens stuff that came through. So we have Mishimon, basically D Police and D Brigade, by returning 3 cards with D Brigade or D Police from your trace from trash to the top of your deck. This Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn. Just being able to throw in a little extra oomph is not bad. Then we have Kokuamon, just a blocker and inheritable, doesn't see competitive play. Commandramon, so on play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with D Brigade or Digi Police among them to your hand, place the rest at the top or bottom of your deck. Then all turns, when the Digimon would leave the battle area other than by effect, by deleting one of your other Digimon with Digi Police traits, prevent it from leaving play. Not bad. I think it's really solid. We have a lot of potential with D Police and D Police future support, and then you have regular D Brigade. Then you have Chuchumon, so on deletion save, and then blocker. Not bad. Sees play in the Bagra Army deck. Numemon, on play, when Digivolving by placing 1 of the tamer, Satsuki, from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. 1 of your Digimon gains Rush for the turn, and then it just has blocker. Then you have Daemon, Retaliation, on deletion save, and its blocker. Bagra Army. Then High Commandramon basically counts himself as Commandramon when attacking. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 card with... Okay.
So we are into black territory now. So we have Mishimon, when attacking, once per turn by returning 3 cards with D Brigade or D Police traits from your trash to the top of your deck. This Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP for the turn. So being able to gain extra DP boost really does help out in some circumstances, especially with these small guys. When they swing in, having that extra one might meaning break or make it time. So keep that in mind. Then we have the Kokuamon. So it just has a blocker inheritable. It's kind of cute. It's a machine type. Maybe Mugen might play it. Maybe not. I don't know. It's up to you. Then we have Commandramon itself. So this is a super rare. This is an on play. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with D Brigade or / Digi Police traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the top or bottom of your deck. So basically, all to the top, all to the bottom. Your choice. But that's kind of useful because you get some added bonus. There's good options now with D Police and D Brigade in it, so you get some good value out of it. But the inheritable is pretty good too. All turns when the Digimon would leave the battle area other than by an effect by deleting one of your other Digimon with D Brigade and its traits prevented from leaving field. I kind of wish it was Digipolice as well, since this is functioning as a Digipolice. I would have definitely made that as the inheritable also. I think it's just a missed moment. It just gives more future support kind of thing. Then you have a Choo-Choo-Mon. So, Bagger Army. We have Save on Deletion and Blocker as the inheritable. Then we have Numemon. So on play, when Digivolving, place one Satsuki from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. One of your Digimon gains Rush for the turn, and then inheritable Blocker. Kind of cool, right? Then we have Daemon. So Retaliation, on deletion, Save, Blocker as its inheritable. Bagger Army, kind of just what you kind of see here. Then we have High Commandramon. When attacking, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one card with D Brigade or Digipolice traits with a play cost 3 or less among them without paying its cost. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck. Instead of trash, which is very interesting, usually it's been a trash kind of thing, it's kind of cool that we kind of now get more bottom decking. And then it has the same effect as the super rare Commandramon for its inheritable when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effect by deleting one of your other Digimon with D Brigade traits, prevent it from leaving play. So it kind of just keeps it on board, and that's pretty cool. Then we have Digimon. On play, when Digivolving, return one Digimon from your opponent's trash to the top of their deck, gain 1 memory. This doesn't see really any competitive play, let's be honest. It's kind of cute. This does set up with the invader alien things, but doesn't really have any value outside of that. Then we have Datamon. So it's kind of interesting. This card hasn't really even been printed yet. I think this is the first printing. All turns, this Digimon cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects. Kind of cool that we have a machine level 5 that kind of just sits there and says, I'm not going anywhere. So definitely interesting. Then we have Black King Numemon. So Digivolves on top of Numes, but reveal the top 3 cards to your deck, add 1 card with Mumsy in its name among them to your hand, and play 1 card with Nume in its name among them without paying its cost. So the Nume deck kind of gets some more momentum. Then place this card at the bottom of your deck, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck. Not terrible. You know, you could easily plus very nicely with this, or you could just win. You know, you got Blocker inheritable. It's kind of cute. I don't see much competitive play. Cargo Dramon definitely sees competitive play with the D Brigade. So on play, when Digivolve reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, you may play 1 card with D Brigade or Digipolice traits with a play cost 4 or less among them without paying its cost. Trash the rest. Here's where the cycling comes in. But all turns, when one of your other Digimon is deleted, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Commandramon among them without paying the cost. So, not bad. I think that's pretty useful. Then we have Vademon, which people kind of were like going like, this is kind of crazy. On play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. You Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon for each Digimon card among them. Return the reveal cards at the top or bottom of the deck. Kind of manipulating the top and bottom is pretty cool, actually. Then we have Platinum Numemon. So on play, when Digivolving by trashing 1 card with Numemon in its name in your hand, gain 2 memory. So he comes in for an 8 cost. That's terrible, but on deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with Numemon or Mumsy in its name from your hand without paying its cost. Kind of cool that they gave the big XP Platinum just some decent leeway here. Then we have Ebimon. So on play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Delete any number of your opponent's Digimon with a total play cost less than or equal to the play cost of one of the revealed Digimon cards. Return the revealed cards to the top or the bottom of the deck, which is kind of where you get Vegemon to cycle in. So you use Vegemon, let's say you put their Mega on top, then you kind of can just answer out. It's kind of cool. Then we have Brigadramon. So when Digivolving, choose any number of opponent's Digimon whose that their play cost total is up to 7 and delete them. Opponent's turn, all your opponent's Digimon D Brigade trait gains blocker. End of turn, once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play any number of cards with D Brigade, or did you place traits up to total play cost 7 among them without paying its cost? Trash the rest. I think that's pretty cool. It's a big new boss Digimon, and we kind of get a new Greymon looking thing. So they can't get too far without a Greymon. Then we have Satsuki. So this card is pretty cool. Actually, it has the Mind Link, one of the few cards that are introduced. It has a start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. Mind Link one of your Numes or Mumsy in its name, or Digipolice traits. Not bad. I think that's pretty cool. But the Mind Link is for Nume, Mumsy, or Digipolice. It gains jamming and reboot. Kind of cool. And then the fact of on all turns, you may play one Setsuki from your Digi-Evolutions without paying its cost. So you kind of can pull the Tamer out nicely, especially if you combo with Nume, get it underneath by hard playing it. If you didn't rush with it, nothing to worry about, just pull her out and boom, she's raring to go. So that she'll set up and you don't have to worry about losing her. Kind of decent 1-for-1 kind of deal here. Then Sukumon's Curse. So one of your non-white Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with Sukumon in its name from your hand without paying its cost, ignore its Digi-Evolution requirements. And then you have the rule is treated as Sukumon in its name. So that yellow card that we had Shumon, you can put this at the top, and then basically you get the security, change one of your opponent's Digimon into a white Digimon with 3000 DP and original name of Sukumon until the end of turn. I think that's pretty cool. It's decent. It makes it so your opponent really is going to have a bad time. They can't Digivolve up or anything like that. They're kind of stuck with what that is, because if they change this to a white Digimon, most likely they don't have a white Mega to Digivolve. Then we have DCD Bomb. So Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then by returning 3 with D Brigade or Digipolice in its traits from your trash to the top of your deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. The maximum play cost 6. That's kind of cool. Nice little removal. It's been a little bit since we had low cost removal, and the other one wasn't too crazy, but being able to Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon and then take care of a 6 play cost is not bad. I think it has a lot of potential. What do you guys think for black? Pretty neat. So let's talk about the great purple. Purple really getting out of hand once we start reaching this set. So we have the first card, we have Bowmon. So Bowmon, when a Digimon card with Dark Animal or SOC trait is trashed from your hand, this Digimon may Digivolve into that card. Kind of cool. Very interesting way of uniquely being able to have your cards trash and then warp up. It's not a bad deal, right? Then we have Gazemon, so on deletion, gain a memory. It's not a terrible thing. I don't see it seeing any competitive play. Goblinmon, though, does see some play, so when a card is trashed from your hand by an effect, gain 1 memory. This kind of sees play in Goblinmon, if I remember a little bit. Just the earlier on sets, and then Bellastar it sees play, but probably we'll start seeing more play in the future. Then we have Lugamon. So the best doggo ever. Well, start of your main phase by placing 1 Elijah from your hand to or trash under the Digimon as a bottom Digi-Evolution, gain 1 memory. And then your turn, when a card with Dark Animal or SOC trait is played, gain 1 memory. Kind of cool, really solid. Then we have Fangmon. So on play, when attacking, return 1 purple Digimon card with Dark Animal as traits from your trash to your hand, then trash 1 card in your hand. I think that's pretty cool. It's definitely part of the line, and it's pretty interesting, the art, too. I think it's pretty cool. The art looks great. Then we have Ogremon. So your turn, when a card is trashed from your hand by your effect, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when a card is trashed from your hand by an effect, gain 1 memory. So both inheritables and main effect is pretty cool. I think Ogremon sees some play in a few decks, and it's pretty awesome to say the least. Then you have Lugarmon. So when attacking by trashing 1 card from your hand, draw. If Elijah is in this Digi-Evolution card, gain a memory also. So kind of brings in some pressure that way. And then your turn, when a card with Dark Animal or SOC trait is played, gain 1 memory. Kind of really cool. It's very much combo reliant, so it all synergizes extremely well. Then you have Devimon itself. On play, when attacking, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for every 3 cards in your trash. On deletion, trash 1 card in your hand without one of your opponent's hand without looking. So kind of just really interesting to be able to do a small hand removal. Devimon doesn't see really any niche play, but maybe some future support might do something good for him. Then you have Skull Greymon. When Digivolving, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your Digimon with the lowest level and one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. Kind of interesting how they kind of just ping off each other here. But on deletion, you may play 1 Agumon from your trash without paying its cost. If you have a Tamer with Tai in its name, that Digimon gains Rush for the turn. I think it's pretty cool, but the fact that we don't have much good interaction with this card, and it's really much a bad bridge in some instances, but we'll have to see. Then we have Skull Setamon. So on play, when Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of both players' deck, and then your turn, when a card is trashed from your opponent's deck, gain 1 memory. So this is pretty good. I think this might see some niche and play with Lilith Loop. Might not, who knows, but being able to have the on play and when digivolving and being able to trash a couple cards really does help out milling out your opponent's deck. Then Lugarmon. So end of your turn, delete this Digimon, draw 2 cards. Then you may return 1 Lugarmon from your trash to your hand. On deletion, you may trash up to 3 cards with Dark Animal or SUC in its traits from your hand. Then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For each card trash, add a maximum level. That's nasty for an ultimate to be able to pop Mega just because it breathed in. And it's really nasty because you just discard. You don't care if your hands, you're not losing any value for this. You're just gaining so much value out of it. Then we have Soul Lugarmon. So the good version, that kind of looks like a fusion of, you know, Metal Garurumon with, you know, what is it? Our good friend Mach Galgamon. So that's kind of really what this vibes feels. But I love the giant sword that he gets. So when digivolving, you may play a level 3 or lower with a Dark Animal or SOC traits from your trash without paying its cost. If Elijah is in the Digi-Evolution cards, add 1 maximum level of the card you can choose with this effect. So, not a terrible thing. When attacking by trashing 1 card in your hand, gain 1 memory. And then your turn, once your card with Dark Animal or SOC is played, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Kind of nasty for an unsuspend, right? Then you have Ghoulmon. When digivolve, when attacking, for every 10 cards in your trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. When attacking, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, this Digimon gains security +1. So, kind of really interesting for mill decks is this, because now it has a backup in the form of Creepymon, but it's kind of cool just to say the least. Then Fenrilugamon, one of the best cards in the set. When digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower card with Dark Animal or SOC traits from your trash without paying its cost. If Elijah is in his Digi-Evolution cards, add 2 to the maximum number of this Digimon you can play with this effect. When attacking, once returned by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. For each of your Digimon, maximizes the level by 1 for each card, and that you can choose with this effect. And then your turn, the conditions to end the turn become your opponent having 3 or more memory. Kind of interesting. That's really scary, especially because now it prolongs your turn, because sometimes it was just, oh, my turn ends when you have 1 memory, you're going to 3. Now it guarantees that the pass turn, you either choose to pass turn or you give them 3. Boom, done. Their opponent's kind of in a bad state. Then Elijah, this card alone is pretty cool. So it's a Mind Link, one of your Digimon with Dark Animal or SOC traits. And then sort of your main phase, your opponent has a Digimon gain a memory. Then all turns when this Digimon has Dark Animal or SOC in its trait, this Digimon gains Alliance and Blocker. And in turn, you may play an Elijah from the Digi-Evolution course without paying its cost. So, kind of interesting to just see the Mind Link separate each other. It's just a great dynamic. It's a cool way of synergizing and giving new added effects, especially Alliance and Blocker. Then you have Dark Wing Delusion. Trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then one of your Digimon with Devimon in its name gets security +1 for the turn. Might see some play with Don Devi, but who knows if that deck will ever come back. Then you have Pamawak. When this card is trashed from your hand by an effect, draw a card. Similar to Underworld's Calling, if I remember correctly. It has the same draw effect, but it plays a Digimon, but this one will delete one of your opponent's 4 or lowers. I think it's not a bad card. Pamawak's pretty interesting. But that's all purple. And then we have one last card to talk about, and that is for white, Genai. Doesn't see any play, really, but it's a card. So on play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 level 3 Digimon and 1 non-white tamer among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck. Opponent's turn, when opponent's Digimon is level 5 or higher Digimon attacks, suspend this tamer, move one of your Digimon from your breeding area to the battle area. I love it, and I hate it at the same time. I like the idea that you can promote one of your breeders up, but then leaves you really in a bad spot, but I kind of get it, because then you can hatch immediately on your next turn. It's kind of cool, but you're also just in a bad spot. They can easily remove that monster, the Digimon, out, so I think it's pretty cool. We have a lot of good cards in BT-14, so what are you guys hyped about? Let me know down in the comments. And guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!